Hello, hello. Welcome to the next video of the Learning Tarot series. I hope you guys are all doing well. So we are going to dive into the cups. So we have 14 cards, including the court cards, and I've laid them out in order. We're going to go through each card, what they symbolize, and it's very important to actually pay attention to the order of the cards because they do read like a story. There's a reason and a purpose for the order of the cards, and we will dive into that as well. So when we talk about cups, we're talking about emotion. Yes, sometimes love, emotion, very watery energy. If you notice, most of the cups have a significant amount of blue in the card. And again, we're just using the traditional Rider-Waite deck. I believe that this is really the best to learn on. And we're going to start with the cups. So we will go in order all the way from the Ace, all the way down to the King and the Queen of Cups. So let's begin. All right, the first card we're going to talk about is that Ace of Cups. And as you notice, there's a hand, right? We like to look at this and think of this as the universe handing you a gift with that Ace of Cups. There's an outpouring of emotion. So the Ace of Cups can really signify, yes, new love, falling in love. It's quite emotional. We're being given the gift and there's something in that cup. And with the Cups cards, what's in that cup? It's emotion, it's love. But the Ace of Cups can also talk about healing energy, self-love as well. It can be quite an emotional card as well. We see all of the water kind of overflowing in the cup. So this does signify falling in love. It is an ace, it's new. So when we talk about the aces with any of the elements, we have to really remember that it's just the beginning. So you're being handed this gift. It's brand new. You still have to cultivate it. You have to nurture it. You have to water it, love it, so that it can turn into something such as the 10 of Cups, which we'll get to, which is emotional fulfillment. 10 is completion in tarot. So while the Ace of Cups is beautiful, it is the beginning stages. Now, the Ace of Cups, as I mentioned, can also be a gift of something new with emotion that's tied outside of love. It doesn't have to just be love. You can actually feel the Ace of Cups for a business, for a friend, for a family member as well. We're always going to make sure we pay attention to the surrounding cards and the clarifiers. But typically when we're talking about cups, we are really going to dive into that whole realm of love and emotion. But for example, I can have the Ace of Cups for, my daughter, right? My pet. It just signifies that there is love there. Typically in a love reading, when we get the Ace of Cups, it's a newer connection. We're falling in love. Sometimes that Ace of Cups, if we're already partnered with someone and maybe we've been with somebody for a while, it's a renewal of love. It's a healing of that partnership as well. So again, tarot is never going to be just cut and dry one answer. It's going to depend on your surrounding cards, which we'll get into later in the series with a few of the tarot spreads that we're going to go through. But this is just going to be a basic knowledge of the cups. So when we think of cups, what elements are we thinking? Well, the water elements, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, typically. All right. Again, the cups, emotion, outpouring of emotion. Now, what happens when we get this Ace of Cups in reverse? So this can definitely signify, something that's unrequited. Maybe somebody has more love for the other person. It's an unrequited situation. Somebody may have been taken advantage of in love. Maybe they've been giving out too much love, more than they've been receiving. It can certainly indicate a breakup as well. Falling out of love. Again, we're going to pay close attention to what clarifies that Ace of Cups in reverse. For today's purposes, we'll go ahead and put it in the upright. So the main things I want you to remember, again, in reverse, that Ace of Cups could be a breakup. It's an unrequited situation, typically for me. Somebody's giving back that cup, which when that cup turns upside down, it can be a lot of outpouring of emotion because somebody isn't receiving the love that maybe they've given. Now, again, the order of the cups, like with all the elements, is going to be very important. So we've fallen in love, or we have something new that we have a lot of emotion for. We've been given that gift, and now we want to do what? We want to go to the 2. and we want to share that gift. All right. So the Two of Cups, 2 in tarot is typically going to signify a choice or a decision. With this Two of Cups, you have 2 people there that are both, they're looking eye to eye. They're both offering that cup. It's almost on the same level. So this does signify 2 people who are offering that emotion on the same level. It's a relationship. It's a partnership. Again, with 2 being an important number, we do talk about partnerships, decisions, choices. When this Two of Cups is in the upright, again, this is 2 people who are on the same page emotionally, who want to be in a relationship. It can be thought of as a soulmate card in tarot with the Two of Cups. But it typically signifies a partnership and 2 people offering that cup on the same level. Which leads me to, also with the Two of Cups, I've actually seen the Two of Cups in a friendship reading, y'all. It doesn't always have to be love. Typically, we're going to think of love, soulmate energy, 2 people who want to grow a relationship. They're on the same level emotionally. But it can be a friendship as well. It can. It's a very strong connection. I've even seen it come out with family members. Now, if we're doing a career reading, the Two of Cups can certainly signify a partnership in work. I've done career readings where somebody wants to know if they're going to be, hired or they're going to be part of a team. This is a partnership. This could be a partnership in a business as well. Typically, we think of the pentacles with career, money, success, that kind of thing. And again, the cups more with emotion and love. So 90% of the time when you do pull this Two of Cups, it is going to talk about emotion and love. Now, when this Two of Cups comes out in reverse, you're not on the same page, right? Maybe somebody's indecisive whether they want to offer that cup, whether they want to be in a relationship. It can also signify a breakup, right? Because somebody's not offering that cup anymore. One person is probably, most likely, and the other isn't, which could result in a breakup. This is also the end of a partnership as well. Again, I go back to career. I have seen that happen. It's not always pentacles in those career readings. Sometimes this can signify in reverse a breakup of a partnership as well. We have a new offer, something that we're emotionally invested in. Maybe we're falling in love. We're in a relationship here. 2 people want to offer that emotion on the same level and grow that partnership, which leads to the Three of Cups. It's time to celebrate. So 3s, when they come out in tarot in the upright, it does signify some sort of agreement. You're agreeing on something. It can. Now with the Three of Cups here, this can be joy and happiness, a celebration. We've got more than one person on this card. So this can even be a group of friends. I've seen the Three of Cups come out where people are just emotionally happy. They're having a good time. This can even signify you're drinking. We're going out. We're partying. We're just having a really good time. So this could be even a group of friends. The Three of Cups for me can often be a dating card, but it would be kind of the beginnings of it, right? We've already decided that there is emotion here. So now we're going with the Three of Cups. We're in agreement, right? We've both offered that cup. And so now this can signify a lot of joy and happiness and harmony. It's not just love. If you get the Three of Cups in a reading, it can often, again, indicate you're going out with your friends, you're going to be around a group of people. You might even be with family members, and there's something to celebrate. I've seen the Three of Cups come out when somebody's announcing a wedding or a pregnancy, or they've received that job offer that they really want. It typically involves more than one person. And that does lead us to, often people see this Three of Cups and they automatically go to, oh, well, somebody's cheating, or, there's a third party. It can be, certainly. For me, that's typically more in reverse. But again, we always want to pay attention to the surrounding cards. And we'll get into clarifiers later in the series. This is just the basics of the cups. But there is something to celebrate here with that Three of Cups, and it can be dating. It can also represent a reconciliation as well. So if we're doing an ex reading, or we want to see how somebody feels about us from our past, if we get that Three of Cups, it can signify that they want to reconcile, or they want to make something right. I always stress to clients, and when I'm teaching tarot, we'd always want to jump to reconciliation, meaning, we're going to get married and everything's perfect and we're forever and this and that. Sometimes when we reconcile with an ex, we just have some unfinished business. This can be a conversation. This can be you go out, you meet for drinks, you go to lunch, you have coffee, whatever. You are forming type of an agreement. You're coming back together to reconcile something. It doesn't mean it's going to be forever, but something's being made right. Now, we move to, now I did want to talk about this in reverse. Typically for me in reverse, this Three of Cups in reverse, it could be a third party, somebody's cheating, there's somebody else. I mean, we have 3 people in this card. That's typically for me in reverse. This is also too, we can't agree on something. And again, it's going to usually include more than one person. So that group of people at work that can't get along, a family situation, I've seen this come out in reverse, where everybody's bickering or you can't decide on something. You know, the Three of Cups in reverse can also indicate some sort of drama or jealousy as well. I always see this Three of Cups in reverse when somebody's coming to me for a reading where there's, you know, workplace drama going on or jealousy from other coworkers, a group of people being petty, that kind of thing. This can also indicate a breakup or a coming apart of a friend group or a family dynamic of some sort. It is a lack of joy and a lack of harmony as well. So if we're just doing a spread on, you know, a completely single person and, you know, they're not dating anybody, maybe that Three of Cups comes out in reverse because they don't feel celebratory. They don't really feel like going out with a group of friends. They want to just kind of hang out and do their own thing. It can also indicate a lack of joy within themselves. We move to this Four of Cups. And four in tarot typically represents stability. With this Four of Cups, we've gone from the 3. So perhaps we're dating, you know, the Three of Cups can be very also laid back. Like somebody doesn't want to get real serious. They're dating maybe a few people. You go out, you have fun, you have drinks, you know, that kind of thing. Have a nice meal. You move to the Four of Cups and it almost looks like he's just not satisfied with what is being offered with that Four of Cups. He's got the 3 here right in front of him that he's been given, this 3. And now the universe is handing him this 4th cup and he's like, no, I don't even want those 3 cups. Like he's not even looking at those 3. He's just looking down, arms crossed. He's dissatisfied. He's complacent. He's bored. He's like, I didn't want these and I sure as hell don't want that one. So the Four of Cups can definitely represent complacency, boredom. You don't like what you're being offered. So typically in a love reading, you've got people asking you out or you've dated or whatever, and you haven't really been happy with what's been offered. It can indicate a rejection as well. I'm going to reject this 4th cup because I don't even want those 3 cups. Any type of rejection that you're emotionally invested in. Again, a job offer perhaps even, a friendship. I've seen also too, keep in mind the Four of Cups can represent kind of just mild depression as well. It's like, nothing's worked in the past. Why would I take this cup? I don't want to go out. I don't want to date, or I don't want to be part of the group. It always ends up, you know, ish in that cup. He's got his arms crossed. He's not even thinking about it. He doesn't want it. It's just not what he wants in that cup. We're going to, and the 4 cups in the reverse for me can often, usually the way that I read the 4 of Cups in reverse is there was an offer that was given at some point and it just passed you by. There was an emotional connection. It's kind of like that 4 of Cups is the one that got away. So there was a connection and something disrupted that emotional connection. That 4 of Cups could be somebody you're connecting with where you rejected in the past or they rejected you in the past and that feeling has kind of subsided. The 4 of Cups, the one that got away. That's how I read it. Remember, this is how I read tarot. It doesn't mean that it's, you know, that there's no other way to read it. You're here because hopefully you like the way I read and teach. So this is just the way that I read these cards. Keep that in mind. And you'll use your intuition, and you know there is basic 101 of the cards and basic knowledge and interpretation, but then you take and you use your own intuition and you make it yours, right? We move from the 4, so it's again, I don't want it, I don't like what I've been offered, I feel rejected or I've had to reject someone. So now we move to the 5 and it's kind of like wah, wah, wah. So 5 in tarot can usually represent some sort of strife or conflict. The 5 of Cups here is, again, I've felt rejected, I felt complacent, and now I'm just kind of wallowing in it a little bit. The 5 of Cups does have a little bit of a past history tied to it for me as a reader. He's got these Two of Cups. If he would turn around, he would see what? The Two of Cups. That there is a partnership in his environment. But he's too focused on the Three Cups that have spilled, which for me signifies some sort of reconciliation with the Three of Cups, but they've spilled. So he's like, I wanted this reconciliation, or I wanted something to work. It doesn't have to be a reconciliation, but there's some sort of history with the past for me with the Five of Cups. If it's not over a specific person, it's just love in general or friendships in general that just have left this person feeling drained. There could be other opportunities in their environment, but they're too focused on what's fallen, right? I mean, we've all been there. I get it. So the Five of Cups, kind of dwelling on the past. Missing someone as well with this Five of Cups. So you could have a new opportunity, say in dating or love, but you're so focused on what you've already lost. It's hard to look at those cups behind you and to feel like there's any hope or future, right? So in reverse, the Five of Cups for me is really not focusing so much on the past. Now, it's still there because it's coming in reverse, but it's overcoming that difficulty, that strife of the past. It's realizing the past is the past. I've learned from it, and I can move on and overcome that conflict and realize that there's still more emotion to receive and more emotion to give. In a career reading, I've seen this come up as well, where it's like, well, damn, I didn't get the promotion. What else can I do to get over it? It sucks. I'm disappointed. I've reflected on it, and now it's time to move forward. So this is really, for me, kind of getting over the things that you've lost that you were emotionally connected to. Let's talk about the Six of Cups in the upright. So this Six of Cups for me, so six is all about balance. With the Six of Cups, you notice it almost looks like kids on here, right? So the Six of Cups can represent children, all right? So again, anytime we pull one of these cup cards, could be associated with a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, but also keep in mind, you can be reading for an earth sign and they pull the energy of a cup card because maybe that's the realm that they're in. Maybe they're very emotional, or also keep in mind, maybe they have water in their chart, their birth chart somewhere besides their sun sign. But going back to the Six of Cups, we've got like children. It's a very emotional, nurturing, beautiful energy. This would be the energy of thinking back to childhood or thinking back to a past situation. And when you think back and those memories start to rise, you have that warm, emotional, beautiful feeling, right, with the Six of Cups. When you feel the Six of Cups for someone, they feel like home to you. It's a very comforting energy. If you're described as the Six of Cups, you're probably very sweet, very emotional. You're very nurturing. You do kind things for other people. So it does talk about the past for sure. So this could be somebody's thinking of you. And when it's in the upright, they're fond, good memories. It can also be a card of somebody returning from your past. It's a friendship card as well. So it doesn't always have to be love. Somebody, a friend that maybe you lost contact with, has been thinking about you. And when this is in the upright, those are good memories. You may hear from them. It's a very much a soulmate card for me as well. You've shared a past life together. Maybe you grew up together. Maybe this is, again, a friend that you've known since you were a child. If it's not specific to a person, when you're pulling this card, it's going to be the energy of just a very emotional, beautiful, nurturing energy and having fond memories of a situation that brings in that feeling of kindness and nurturing. And it's a very sweet, beautiful card. I love the Six of Cups. Soulmate card for sure, if you're doing soulmate readings. When this comes out in the reverse, yeah, it's still memories of a past situation, but they're not fond memories. You might be connecting with a person who, and you think of them or you think of that situation, and automatically you go back to something that wasn't great happened with that Six of Cups in reverse. This can also be the energy of someone clinging to the past. I've seen this in marital readings where they've been together for years and years and they're married, and something happened along the way, and the current situation is one of them just can't stop thinking about that negativity from the past. With the Six of Cups in reverse, it's having those bad memories of a past situation that caused some sort of conflict. Again, they've got to let go of that past situation in order for the relationship to thrive and move forward. Six of Cups in reverse, bad memories of childhood or a past situation with a friendship, a family member, anyone. This can also, again, when that Six of Cups is in reverse, indicate that somebody is still clinging to the past. Now, again, if it's not a past person, they're clinging to a situation that happened in the past, and it's preventing them from letting go of that and moving forward towards abundance and love. The Six of Cups can also indicate pregnancy, especially if we're clarifying that Six of Cups with like an Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, something like that, which we'll get into later in the series. But this can also represent children. If I'm doing a reading and somebody's newly dating someone and they want to know, oh, I don't know yet. We've only been out on one date, or I met him online, or whatever. Do they have kids? Or the Six of Cups would certainly indicate somebody's children as well, or they want children in the future. Seven of Cups. So now we've got that Six of Cups. We've got that very strong connection with someone. They feel like home. It feels like a soulmate. Sometimes what can happen is then we lead to the Seven of Cups, which is like haze and confusion. That's one meaning of the Seven of Cups. That Seven of Cups is like, I don't know what hit me. I'm daydreaming about it. It's such a beautiful, strong connection. It's a bit overwhelming. My emotions are just all over the place. I'm overwhelmed. I'm dreaming. I'm fantasizing about this connection or this person with the Seven of Cups. And if you look at the card, there's all these cups and there's different things, and he doesn't know which one to choose. So that is one meaning of the Seven of Cups. While you're reading tarot and you're practicing and you're learning and you're mastering your cards, always pay attention to the detail and the artwork on the cards. Every deck is going to be different, and therefore your interpretation may be a little bit different as well. This Seven of Cups can also indicate confusion or feeling overwhelmed. Somebody's making you feel confused in a situation. This is one of my gaslighting cards, depending on what clarifies it and what's surrounding the Seven of Cups. This is somebody that might be creating some illusions or some haze in a situation, and it's making you emotionally just all over the place. This can certainly talk about options as well. If you're dating someone new and you pull the Seven of Cups, maybe they want to keep their options open. We got to clarify and see what clarifies that Seven of Cups. Feeling overwhelmed, confused with your emotions. Somebody wants more options, or they want to keep their options open. And again, it can also indicate that somebody's daydreaming. It's like this very kind of daydreamy, beautiful energy, but maybe it's not the most realistic, right? Seven of Cups in reverse is you see it for what it is. There's no confusion. There's no pulling the wool over my eyes with the Seven of Cups in reverse. I see you for what you are. I see the situation for what it is. And I'm not going to live in a la-la fantasy land here. I see the reality and the truth of a situation, of a person, with that Seven of Cups in reverse. That Seven of Cups in reverse can also indicate maybe you've run out of options. You don't have options in love, in career, in any situation, depending on what you decide to do your reading. Move from the 7 to the 8. 8 in tarot is all about change, right? Which you'll notice that right away on this card. What is he doing? He's leaving. He's got these 8 cups, and he's like, nope, they're not fulfilling me. Again, they're cups, so he's not being fulfilled on an emotional level. He's on to find his 2 additional cups to get him to completion, happily ever after, right? And I think it's very interesting. He's wearing the red cloak. Red, indicates passion and taking action and a spark, and he's very determined. I feel like with that red cloak, and he's on a mission. He's gonna go find his 2 cups because the person he's connecting with, they're not doing it for him, or the situation. I've seen this come out in career readings very often. You're not being fulfilled anymore. There's more out there that will bring you that ultimate happiness. And so you're turning your back on these cups. You're walking away, and you're going to go find your happiness. You're also letting the moon guide you. The moon moves in cycles and phases, and it's all about your intuition. So to me, he's already had that kind of aha moment. His intuition is guiding him, and what his intuition is telling him is to walk. There's something else out there that will complete him. Now, the 8 of Cups in reverse for me is I can't turn my back on those emotions. Maybe something's already done. Maybe there's been a breakup or an end to a job situation or even a family or friend dynamic, but I just can't do it. I can't do it. And the Eight of Cups in reverse often indicates a return of somebody who's already walked away. Maybe they've closed off completely emotionally. And when that Eight of Cups is in reverse, it can indicate somebody that's returning. They just can't shut off their emotions. I've seen this in X readings a million times. It doesn't always mean a return, always. You may not have spoken to this person in 6 months, and their energy comes out as the Eight of Cups in reverse because they haven't let go of the emotion, the emotional side of that connection. So it can certainly talk about a return, for sure, but it's the inability to walk away from something. A lot of times that Eight of Cups in reverse in a job situation, or maybe somebody's asking, am I going to be able to sell my home and move across country? Well, with the Eight of Cups in reverse, you're not able to walk away yet. There's something that emotionally you're still tied to. Could be a family member, a friend. It's not time. We have the Eight of Cups here, so we're moving to find those 2 additional cups to get to completion. So what happens when we find it? We go to the Nine of Cups. This is wish fulfillment. You've manifested emotional satisfaction. The Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. Your dreams, your wishes are coming in, for sure. But this is also a card which indicates, again, manifestation and being emotionally satisfied. If you look at him, he looks pretty happy. He's got all those cups. He's got his arms crossed. He's just giddy as all can be. This can often indicate, with the Nine of Cups, you might be connecting with somebody who's a little bit self-indulgent, a little bit smug. They want all those cups, but they want more too. So the Nine of Cups, while it is often thought of as wish fulfillment and manifestation, all those wonderful things, it can also indicate somebody who's a little bit overindulgent. For example, you pull the Nine of Cups in a relationship reading and you guys, it just feels so good to be with that person, right? Maybe you overindulge. You guys eat 5 pints of Ben & Jerry's instead of 1. It's a very giddy, overindulgent energy. If you're not doing a relationship reading, this could be somebody who overindulges in shopping, drinking, eating, whatever it is. They do it, and they do it a lot because it feels really good. Now, this Nine of Cups can also indicate if we're doing a dating type, spread, love spread. This is one of my dating cards. This could also be somebody who wants their cake. They like to eat their cake, and they want, what's the saying, y'all? I want my cake and I want to eat it too. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody who wants it all, and they might even be a little bit smug about it. Now, any of the cup cards, also I want you to keep in mind, could indicate overindulgence in alcohol. So we do have to point that out. I've done several readings, personal readings, where that is prevalent. Anytime you get a cup card, especially in reverse, can indicate somebody's a little bit overindulgent in drinking the alcohol, especially the Nine of Cups. That's what reminded me of that. Now, this Nine of Cups in reverse, I haven't been able to manifest my hopes, my dreams. I'm dissatisfied on an emotional level. Something I really wanted to manifest has not come to fruition. It's feeling depleted, it's feeling drained, it's feeling emotionally dissatisfied, right? So that Nine of Cups in reverse can leave you feeling pretty blue. Something just wasn't able to manifest that you wanted. Now, in the upright, the Nine of Cups, yes, we've got our hopes, our wishes are coming in. We've been able to manifest this emotional, beautiful feeling. Here it is. We're going for it. And it leads to our 10. So 9 is closure in tarot. And now we've got to 10, which is completion. And you can tell, like, arms in the air, he's got his arm around her. We've got the kids here. Everybody looks happy. 10 is completion. We've got the rainbow looking there. So it's like the mom and the dad and the kids. And in one of the decks, there's even like a dog playing in the yard. It's not the Rider-Waite. But 10, yes, we made it. So we are emotionally fulfilled with that 10 of Cups. So the 10 of Cups, again, 10 is completion. The 10 of Cups for me can often indicate marriage, family. It's that feeling of happily ever after. If we're doing a reading and love isn't even prevalent in the reading, this is just going for your ultimate happiness. Remember, with this Eight of Cups, we're in search of those 2 additional cups because something wasn't fulfilling. We've manifested it, our wishes with that Nine of Cups, and now here it is, the dream, the happily ever after, the marriage, the family with the Ten of Cups. It's very much about emotional fulfillment and happiness, happily ever after in a situation. If you're doing a reading and, how does so-and-so feel about marriage or family or having children? If you pull the Ten of Cups, well, they're probably on board. We want to clarify it, obviously. Sometimes the Ten of Cups will come out in a third-party reading. Are they going to leave their wife? Well, that Ten of Cups in the upright, probably not. We want to clarify it, but if we're doing a third party and we're wondering if somebody's going to leave, I'd rather see that in reverse. If your client wants to know, is looking for that answer. But in reverse, this can certainly be a divorce. The Ten of Cups in reverse can really indicate somebody's having a lot of family issues. It may even be external to the person you're reading. Maybe there's something going on in their family that's causing a lot of unhappiness. This could be, again, a divorce. The Ten of Cups in reverse for me can indicate also depression, right? With the Ten of Cups in reverse. We're not happy when that Ten of Cups is in reverse. We haven't found our happily ever after. Perfect example, Ten of Cups in reverse. We're going through a separation. How does Bobby feel about trying to make this marriage work? Ten of Cups in reverse for me would say Bobby probably wants to move forward with a divorce. We're going to start to get into the court cards. So we've gone from our ace to our 10. We're complete. And now we're going to get into our court cards. So anytime, whether it's cups, pentacles, wands, swords, when we get into our court cards, it can indicate a literal person, especially when you're doing private readings. 9 times out of 10, the person you're reading, their zodiac sign will come through in the reading in some form at some point. So we're going to start with the baby, which is the Page of Cups. Now, I always jump to Pisces energy with the Page of Cups. Again, it can be anybody. It can be any water sign, and it can be anybody. You don't know. They could have water in their chart. But if we want to learn the zodiac signs associated, I would go to Pisces with this. You see the fish kind of jumping out of the cup. Reminds me of Pisces. The Page of Cups. So he's young. He's excited. The Page of Cups is a little bit of a dreamer. So if we're just talking about his energy, he's a poet, he's a writer, he's a dreamer. He's somebody who's going for his dreams. So if you're doing a career reading, we pull out this Page of Cups. This is often going to be indication of somebody pursuing a dream that they have. If we're talking about types of work or types of dreams, again, he can be a poet, a writer, an artist. The Page of Cups tends to live in their head a little bit, in the clouds a little bit, right? If we're talking about love, it's going to be the beginnings of an offer, most likely. It can indicate somebody that's a little bit younger as well, especially if we get like a Page of Cups and a Queen of Cups. That's probably a pretty big age difference. The Page of Cups, and we'll get into this Queen of Cups, is the child to the Queen of Cups. But in love, this is going to be the very beginnings of an offer. It's still pretty immature. You might get some back and forth communication from this person. It'll be a little bit giddy, a little bit immature. It's young, it's fresh. This is an offer, somebody starting to open up their emotions, but it's very, very beginning stages of that love offer. And of course, all of the pages indicate some sort of communication. So this Page of Cups is bringing communication, but because it's a cup, what kind of communication? Well, there's emotion. They want to offer you something of emotion with that Page of Cups. So we've got communication coming in with the Page of Cups. Again, if we're doing any type of relationship reading, maybe we haven't talked to the person in a while and we get that Page of Cups, expect communication. We want to know what kind of communication. We're going to clarify, right? But he is he's delivering something. The pages in the tarot are delivering some sort of communication and some sort of news. But again, if we're just talking about his energy, he's going to be kind of flighty and a dreamer, and he's going for some sort of dream that he has, whether it's realistic or not, he's going to go for it. Now we're growing up a little bit, and we're going to move to the Knight of Cups. So again, water energy with all these cups is a court card. So we could be connecting with a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, the water element. This Knight of Cups, for dating for me, this Knight of Cups is kind of middle of the road. We've moved past the page, so we're elevating, we're maturing a little bit. This is that very kind of sweeping you off your feet type of energy with the Knight of Cups, the kind of middle stages. They're still courting you, they're opening your door, they're saying loving things to you. The Knights in the deck are delivering some sort of news. It's the arrival of something. He's on a horse, he's arriving. Well, because he's arriving with that cup, we know there's emotion in it. There's some sort of emotional offer. Now, I don't want you to get too stuck on love. I mean, it does indicate love, right? Or emotion. Somebody's bringing you an emotional offer, but it can also be prevalent in other types of readings. The Knight of Cups can certainly indicate the arrival of something that you're emotionally connected to. It's a very healing energy with the cups as well. So for career, maybe you do something in the healing arts. Maybe you do something, that helps people balance their emotions. That could be your line of work. Well, you're offering your cup. You're like, here, let me fill your cup. And then they fill your cup with, you fill their cup with advice that helps them with their emotions or their healing or their love life. It's an offering of something. I do want to indicate, y'all, I apologize, I skipped this little guy. Page of Cups in reverse, y'all, could be somebody that you're dealing with who is quite emotionally immature. That Page of Cups in reverse is just emotionally not ready, or they're emotionally closed off, they're not giving you the offer, they're taking back the cup. Typically though, for me, because it's a page, it's young, right? This can indicate children or somebody under the age of like 20. Or if not in age, they're just emotionally immature. And when that Page of Cups is in reverse, they're cutting communication. Somebody's cutting communication. You're not going to receive that message. Or they're just extremely immature when it comes to offering their emotions. Maybe they, text immaturely with emotions, or the way they speak to you, or they're not ready to offer that cup. So it's very immature energy and somebody who's just not emotionally available or cutting off communication. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay. Also, too, with the Knight of Cups in the upright, he might have an apology in that cup as well. So for waiting on communication and arrival, remember, the Knights, they're coming, they're going, they're in pursuit of something. This could be the arrival of an apology in that cup as well. An apology from a friend, an ex, a family member, somebody that you have an emotional tie to. If we see that Knight of Cups arriving, he could be handing out that cup, and there could be a big fat apology in that cup. Now, when this Knight of Cups comes out in reverse, this is somebody who's taking back that cup. Maybe they swept you off their feet, they did all the right things, they arrived, they courted you, they made you feel emotionally just amazing, and now they're taking back that cup. This can certainly be somebody who's very in and out energy. Anytime the Knights come out in reverse, it can be kind of fickle player-like energy. But because it's the Knight of Cups, they're fickle, or they're taking back the emotional side of the connection. This could be somebody who you hear from and they make you feel so amazing emotionally. They do all the right things, they say all the right things, and then you don't hear from them for 2 weeks. It's that energy. It's a little player-like, a little bit in and out with the emotions. If you're wanting to know if you're going to hear from somebody and we get that Knight of Cups in reverse, most likely not. Or if you do, they're going to take that cup right back just as soon as they gave the cup. The Knight of Cups in reverse can indicate jealousy for me as well. That's been prevalent in many private readings that I've done. I've had readings where there's extreme jealousy in a situation, whether that's a friendship or a love situation or a family situation. That Knight of Cups in reverse, again, somebody's in and out with that emotion when it's love, but also there can be some jealousy going on with that Knight of Cups in reverse. So again, we're going from the page to the Knight to the Queen. So we're elevating in, and that's important to pay attention to as well, because if we're talking about love, and 9 times out of 10 with the cups, we pretty much are usually, or emotion, love, we're going to see this elevate. So if we start in the past as a page and we're reading somebody's intentions towards, and then down the road, down the line in the reading, we see them turn into a knight and then hopefully a king, they're going to get more and more serious with that cup. We see that their emotions and they're becoming more serious about loving us and, you know, their emotions and opening up their emotions. So we're elevating in maturity as well as possibly age when we're talking about literal age. The Knights tend to be under the age of 30, not always. I have to indicate not always, because sometimes it's just the maturity level or the level where they are as far as offering you love or emotion, depending on what stage you are in or what they're ready to offer. The Knights are travelers of the deck. They rarely stay. They're very in and out energy, right? So we go to the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is typically the Page of Cups' mother. And that's important because if you see a Queen of Cups and a Page of Cups in the same reading, we might be pulling in energy of somebody's child, especially if you already know that they're a water sign child. I've done readings where I didn't know the sign of the children, and I was able to detect that by the Page of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Oh, you must have a Pisces child or a water sign child. Oh yeah, I do. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. You know, so it'll open up that portal and you'll get even more information for whomever you're reading. But we go to the Queen of Cups, and she's typically, I associate her with Cancerian energy. Again, she can be any water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, but I always think of her as Cancer. For some reason, that's how I read her. We've got all the blue here in the card. That's important to note because even when this Queen of Cups is in the upright, she can be quite emotional. She's super intuitive. I mean, her intuition is bang on, and that's one reason that cup is closed. If you notice, the cup is closed. She's got a lot of love and emotion to offer in that cup, and she's even got it kind of like she's kind of handing it out, like she's almost ready, but she's looking down because she's waiting for her intuition. She's honing in on her intuition. Is this the right time to offer the love and the emotion? What is my intuition telling me? So anytime you pull this Queen of Cups, it's going to talk about intuition, but also a lot of emotion. And she can be a little blue, y'all. Even when she's in the upright, the Queen of Cups, she can be a little emotional. Sometimes her emotions get the best of her when she's in the upright. But they're stable, like they're balanced, like she's got it under control. This is, you know, the Queen of Cups will start crying at a commercial and then she'll get it together real fast. But she's super loving. She's the one that nurtures you and makes you chicken soup when you're not feeling well. And so again, you know, anybody can take on that Queen of Cups energy. But if we're talking about, you know, the elements, we're going to look at Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Super nurturing, very loving, and somebody really wants to offer the emotion. But especially if you're reading for a water sign female, it's going to indicate that she's going to really rely on her intuition before she opens that cup, because maybe she's been hurt in the past, all right? Sometimes the Queen of Cups is quite psychic as well. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Very spiritual, very loving, very emotional, very nurturing. And again, in the upright, sometimes her emotions get the best of her, but somebody wants to offer love. When she comes out in the reverse, she is just bat-ish crazy. Her emotions are all over the place. Her emotions have gotten the best of her. She's basing decisions on emotional instability, y'all. I mean, she can just be real mad. This is the energy of you make somebody so mad they start crying. They're like pulling out their hair. They might be throwing shit. Oh, excuse my language. I said a bad word. Sorry. But she's just feeling bat-ish crazy when she is in reverse. Her emotions are all over the place. Maybe she's been hurt in love, and she's so hurt that she doesn't even know what the hell she's doing. Her emotions are getting the best of her. She can be quite manipulative in reverse, and she can be a drinker in reverse. Those are two other things to keep in mind with that Queen of Cups in reverse, whether they're a water sign or not. This can come out if somebody's drinks in excess, again, or if they're emotionally manipulative in any type of relationship. It doesn't have to be love. She needs to heal when she comes out in reverse. She is not healed from something, and she might still be quite angry. If we're just looking to see how somebody feels about us, that Queen of Cups in reverse, somebody's not ready to offer the emotion. And I want you to keep in mind with any of the court cards, if they come out in reverse, it can indicate another energy. So maybe Bobby has somebody else. If one of those queens comes out in reverse, I don't love it. I feel like even if they're not currently with another energy, because it's a court card, maybe they're still being affected by a past person. We have to clarify, and we have to use our intuition. What are we being guided to advise our client? So keep that in mind. Moving to the King of Cups. So these two are typically married. if you're doing a reading and you get a king and a queen of cups, or a king and a queen of any suit in the same reading, it's a very strong relationship, whether they're water signs or not. This is some sort of soulmate partnership. And because they're cups, there's a lot of love. If you get these two in the upright, somebody's got a lot of love for you or for somebody else, if it's a third party reading. Keep that in mind. You also want to pay attention to how these court cards are laid in the reading. Are they looking at each other, or are they looking away from each other? How did they come out in the reading? If they're like this, maybe they still have that deep, deep love for each other, but they're kind of like, you again? You know, this always reminds me of like the two that have been married forever and they sleep in different bedrooms or something. The King of Cups. All right, let's talk about him. So his cup's open, right? Which is interesting because often the King of Cups for me has that kind of hard shell exterior. It typically is read as Scorpio, y'all, but again, it could be any water sign. But when you pull this, he's, the masculine version of Scorpio. So even if you're reading for a female Scorpio, this can come out, right? For me, it's Scorpio energy. Again, it's the way I read it. Maybe not everybody does. That's how I read it. But his cup's open. He looks very determined, and he's kind of stone-faced, right? It's hard to read him. It's very difficult to read the King of Cups. He's got all that emotion and love on the inside, but you have to kind of peel back the layers sometimes of the King of Cups. Because again, if you think of Scorpio, they've got that stinger. They've been hurt in the past. So they're not going to just give it away. They're not going to, it's a little bit of a poker face. It's in there. He's like a big teddy bear. But you have to kind of peel back the layers of that King of Cups. So very intuitive, just like the Queen of Cups, super intuitive, emotional. If you pull the King of Cups and you're reading for anybody, it could indicate somebody that's quite emotional about a situation. This would be, the male that tears up and is emotional when he's given a toast at a wedding, or, it's beautiful. I love it. This can indicate actually falling in love. I mean, somebody's falling in love with this King of Cups, or because he's a king, he's typically over the age of 35, or he has the mentality and the maturity of somebody over 35. He is ready to offer the emotion. He's not playing with that King of Cups in the upright. He's ready for love. He knows what it means to offer the love and the emotion, and he's ready and willing, and he's going to do it. And he can indicate, again, somebody who has loved somebody for a very long time. This is somebody who's been in love or been in a relationship. When those kings come out in a reading and you're newly dating them, they're either ready to settle down, or we got to clarify, it could be that they're still in love with somebody, or they were married for a long time. We have to research. We got to find out. But he's very much capable of, falling in love. He's in love, or he really wants. The kings are typically married. Not always, but 9 times out of 10, these kings are married, or they want to be married. They want that. So now the King of Cups in reverse, again, like the Queen of Cups in reverse, he might, have like a little overindulgent with the drinky drink. Could have a little bit of a drinking issue. Could be very emotionally manipulative. I don't like any of the kings in reverse. I mean, the King of Cups in reverse is not offering the emotion. He's emotionally closed off. Maybe he's fallen out of love, or he can be quite manipulative, emotionally manipulative, emotionally abusive, because again, the Cups, emotion. So we got to be careful of this King of Cups coming out in reverse. All right, none of the kings are great in reverse, but there's emotion tied to this one in reverse. And sometimes he'll use that manipulation to get what he wants in any situation. It doesn't have to just be love. Not offering the love, emotionally closed off, emotionally manipulative. His intuition is also off, or he's just a fat mess, like with his emotions. This could be somebody that was just completely devastated in love. Like his heart was just dragged, and he's just an emotional mess. And again, it's going to be important to see, well, what clarifies it? Does the Ace of Cups clarify in the upright? The King of Cups in reverse? Okay, well, this is probably somebody who's deeply in love with somebody still, and they're hurting. They may emotionally manipulate other people because they're hurt and they're still in love with somebody. They need to heal with that Ace of Cups on that King of Cups in reverse. But as you become more and more familiar with the cards and your intuition starts talking to you, you're going to know. You'll know. You're going to get more familiar. We're going to talk about clarifying towards the end of the series. This is just a basic 101 of these cards, and the order of the cards is very important to memorize and to read it like a story. It starts to flow. There's a reason for the order. All right, y'all, I hope this helped. I love doing this. If y'all have any comments or questions, leave them below. Reach out to me on email. My email's all over my YouTube channel. And I hope you got something beneficial out of this. I hope it helped. I'm a Queen of Cups, so it's important to connect with you emotionally as well. And I just really hope that you guys are benefiting from this series and this video. And if you have any other suggestions about future videos, please reach out or leave comments below. I really, really love teaching. I want to help you guys, passionate about it, and I want you to be passionate as well. And guess what? I love you hard, love me hard back, and we'll speak soon. Take care.